Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of the Football plus F1 show. As today I'm going to make a preview for tomorrow's Premier League games, and also we're going to review some practice that happened in Las Vegas today. As you can see, I'm doing it a bit earlier because of the timing of the Las Vegas Grand Prix Formula 1, so I want to do it as fast as possible as I can. So that's why. But let's start with the football first, of course. Let's talk about tomorrow's Premier League games, and if I have enough time, maybe we could talk about other leagues' games. First game in the Premier League, it's Burnley against Chelsea. It's a game that Chelsea, they won the last time out against Wolves away from home, 3-0. And they're looking to continue and win again. As if you look at the table, they're third in the Premier League, 6 points only behind Arsenal. And you think okay, it's not all that bad for Chelsea, but they've not had they've had good wins, but they've not been consistently good enough over the whole season. They draw to Karabakh, then they produce a great performance against Tottenham and they beat them, and then they lose to Sunderland at home. Even though Sunderland is a very difficult team to play against, and then they lose a couple of games against Manchester United, who were struggling at the start of the season. They lose to Brighton, struggling against Lincoln, and they win against Ajax 5-1. So Chelsea have been quite inconsistent this season, and Cole Palmer is not going to play this game for Chelsea. In fact, he's going to miss the games upcoming for Chelsea, because they've got games coming up against Burnley, Barcelona and Arsenal, and he's not going to be available is because he suffered an injury at home. According to rumours and according to what Enzo Maresca said, he something happened to his leg in a door. It seemed like he had an accident at home. Basically, he hit his toe, and he's unavailable for Burnley, Barcelona and Arsenal. I mean, injury at home. That is very strange, and that is very new. Very, very new, very new. I don't know when's the last time I've seen a player be injured in a very weird reason, for a weird reason. Because he had an accident at home, he hit his toe, and I don't know, it's very strange. It's very strange. But again, he suffered a couple of injuries. In the last couple of months, he's suffered a couple of injuries. Cole Palmer is a very good player, but when you have that, you can't have that many injuries, and you have to be 100% stay fit, fully focused. And when you have that many injuries and you suffer an injury at home, it's very strange, isn't it? That's going to cost him, because he's not going to play crucial games for Chelsea when they're going to need him, for Barcelona and Arsenal. Burnley they should win, but Barcelona and Arsenal are two very, very tricky games and two big games for Chelsea, and could be defining for Chelsea's season, on how they approach it for the rest of the season. So, yeah, very, very strange from Cole Palmer's side. But Chelsea, they're away to Burnley, and obviously Burnley, they had difficult fixtures, especially at the start of the season, but I think they've coped with it quite well. Defensively, they've been quite strong, as we all know, as they showed in the Championship last season. It's not be easy. It will not be easy, especially away from home, at Turf Moor. Anything can happen. But I think Chelsea should win. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Chelsea. Wolves against Crystal Palace. Wolves with the new manager Rob Edwards, sacking Vitor Pereira. He did a good job for Luton, getting them into the Premier League. But considering what happened in this final season at Luton, how poor they were in that season Championship, I think they got relegated. Or they were close to getting relegation, something like that. So, yeah, very, 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 very. It's quite a strange appointment. He's done a good job at Luton, but still, is it? Managing Luton Town is different to Wolves. The resources, etc., is different. So, Luton were a team that was new coming to the Premier League, whereas Wolves they are a well-established Premier League side. They've been in the Premier League for how many years now? 7 years? 6, 8 years? So, but can he keep them up? I'm not sure, but let's see. But they've had a really poor start to the season. The bottom in the Premier League, and they're 8 points behind above the relegation zone. And they play against Crystal Palace, who are obviously a very good side. I'm going for a 2-0 win for Crystal Palace. Bournemouth against West Ham United. I'm going for a 2-2 draw, actually. Brighton against Brentford. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Brighton. Fulham against Sunderland. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, they've had, they are in the relegation zone. They've had a difficult start to the season, obviously sacking 2 managers, and they brought Sean Dyche. They had their first win in the Premier League under Sean Dyche after beating Leeds United 3-1, 2-2 draw against Manchester United. So they've had some decent performances since Sean Dyche came in and beat Porto as well. So they're away to Liverpool, and it's the only team that Liverpool lost to at Anfield last season. So Nottingham Forest will be relishing to go there and get something, especially where Liverpool are really struggling right now, and their injuries continue. Florian Wirtz is injured. Frimpong is injured. Conor Bradley is injured. Problems continue for Liverpool, and more injuries, more suffering, more problems for Liverpool. And I mean, they've had a shocker start to the season. Yeah, they were winning games at the start, but they were not playing that great. And then the cracks really showed, and the cracks didn't hide as they did where in the first 5-6 games where they were winning games, and the cracks showed more and more and more, and they're losing games more and more and more. Yeah, they had 2 good wins against Aston Villa and against Real Madrid, but the performance against Manchester City, it's not only that they just lost 3-0, the way they performed in that game was absolutely shocking. It was like, except the goal for Van Dijk, which was wrongly disallowed, they were nowhere. They had no chances. They did nothing, like, in that game. So, and how poor they were defensively, offensively, everything. So they need to improve. They need to get better if they want to have a strong season. It's difficult. I think it's going to be difficult for them to challenge for the Premier League. I think if you look at the league table, they are 8 points behind Arsenal. It's still early season, but with the things they're performing, the way they're performing right now, I don't think they're gonna, challenge Arsenal and Manchester City, in my opinion, for the title. Can Liverpool get back to winning ways in this game? Nottingham Forest will sit back. They'll make it difficult. So Liverpool have to find a solution for that, and they struggled against Nottingham Forest low block last season, at Anfield. So I think it's going to be the same problem that Liverpool face as they faced against Nottingham Forest last season, even though it's with a different manager this time. To have Nuno Espirito Santo and Sean Dyche have similar football styles. So I expect, but I'm going for 1-1 draw. I don't think Liverpool are going to win. I think it will be 1-1 draw. Final game: Newcastle United against Manchester City. That's a good game, actually. Manchester City, they've been in a good run of form in the last 8-9 games in all competitions, except the game they lost to Aston Villa. Newcastle, they've been if you look at the other competitions, they've been good. The Carabao Cup, Champions League, but in the Premier League, their run of form has been very, very poor. Losing 3-1 to Brentford away, losing 3-1 to West Ham. They've been a poor run. You look at their record away games; has been very, very poor. I don't think they even won an away game this season, if I'm not mistaken, in the Premier League. So that's how bad they've been away. But they're playing at home this time, thankfully for them. And they play against Manchester City, who, is the pressure on Eddie Howe? Listen, he's done a good job at Newcastle, but when there's a time where you're like, he's taking them too far. He's taking them far as he can, I should say. And for a team like Newcastle, they finished in the top 4 a couple of times. They qualified for the Champions League twice, and they won the Carabao Cup. But Newcastle want to go to the next level, and can Eddie Howe take that next level for Newcastle? So far, he has proven he can't. And if you want to have for a team like Newcastle, if you want to go to the top and start winning trophies and competing for the Premier League and Champions League titles, You need to have two good consistent seasons. Because when they finish in the top four in 22-23 season, this next season after, even though they had a lot of injuries, to be fair, they didn't qualify for Europe. So they need to have, for a team like Newcastle, if they want to go to the next level, they need to have good consistent seasons. Not one bad good season and the next season bad season. No, it's not going to work if especially if you're a team like Newcastle who have lots of resources and trying to be like Manchester City and Liverpool and Arsenal who try to win Premier League titles and Champions League. So yeah, but City, like, they've been a good run of form. Like I said, they've won all of their games since the last international break. I'm talking about the October international break, not this month. The October international break. Um, Except the game they lost against Aston Villa. Defensively they've improved a little bit, but I think they can be better. Going forward, they've improved as well. They've scored, 3 goals against Bournemouth, who've been very good this season. 4 goals against Dortmund, 3 goals against Liverpool, and could have scored more as well. So, yeah, but it's a difficult game away from home. St James Park. It's always difficult there. The atmosphere will be, they'll be fired up. The Newcastle fans, they'll give an extra push to the Newcastle players without a shadow of a doubt. So, Man City and Pep Guardiola are going to have to be ready for it. My score prediction: I expect City to win. Will not be easy for sure, but I expect City to win 1-0. Okay, so let's look at the other leagues. You've got Napoli against Atalanta. Napoli, they've had a difficult run of form recently, even though they're not far away from the leading Serie A, as they are 3 points behind. And rumours circulating that Antonio Conte is, was discussing with the owners whether he can leave the team or not. I mean, it's what Conte does, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a great manager, but on a short-term basis, he'll win you, he'll do something well. Maybe he will win you a league title, as he done at every club he's been at except Tottenham. But he did well for Tottenham in short term because he got them to the Champions League when they were nowhere at the start of the season. But in the long term, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. He might do well in his first season, but then the season after, it crumbles. It all crumbles. So, Conte, like, he's a great manager, but he's not. He's a good man. He's a very quality manager, but he's not. He's not a long-term manager. He's not. So, and Napoli have had a difficult run of form. The last 3 games they've scored 0 goals. 0-0 draws against Como, Frankfurt, 2-0 loss against Bologna. So it's a game that Napoli have a chance to bounce back, especially against Atalanta, who've struggled a lot this season. So it's a game that Napoli should win, but with their recent form, it's not guaranteed. Okay, so let's look at La Liga. PSG have got against Alavedra. It's a game they should win. Bayern Munich, they've got Freiburg at home. They should win. Barcelona are going to play against Athletic Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao, a good side, decent side. They're 7th in the La Liga. And in recent years they've been quite competitive as a team, always in European places, and they play Champions League football this year, and they've got a good manager like Ernesto Valverde. But Barcelona, they are 3 points behind Real Madrid, who've not been the best, I would say, in recent performances. Drawing against Rayo Vallecano, losing to Liverpool. Even also Barcelona have not been at their best. They lost to Real Madrid deservedly. They should have lost to Club Brugge. Defensively, they going forward, they're still fantastic, but defensively they should improve. That's for sure. And I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now about Barcelona. But it's a game against Barcelona at home. Athletic Bilbao will not be easy. At times Athletic Bilbao will try to press. They will try to, put under pressure Barcelona. But for sure, Athletic Bilbao will try to play into the weaknesses of Barcelona. They'll try to, score and attack of the high line that Barcelona always do with their defenders. And it's teams that can, teams you look at this season like Sevilla, PSG, they exploit that weakness of Barcelona, that high line. So I think Athletic Bilbao will be aiming very, very closely to exploit that weakness as well. But I think Barcelona at home, Barcelona, they should win. They're at home. I expect them to win. So I'm going for a 2-1 win for Barcelona. That's the guy. Okay, now let's move on to Formula 1.